Again, I know what I said, but I did some research today, and I wanted to figure out. This is what I'm starting to do when I buy a used lot off a person off a marketplace. Usually, it's not a sale of a sale. It's not like resold and then somebody else grabs it and sells it again. Not too many. Not in the grand scheme of things. There's not too many collectors like me and you guys that are watching this video. Not too many of us out there in the secondhand Lego sales that want to collect Lego. There are, I mean, those bricklink sellers and whatever that will grab secondhand stuff, but us builders, us fans, and not to say that collectors aren't fans, I should actually clarify that, but, or people who have bricklink stores. I know lots of friends of mine have bricklink stores and sell, and they're huge fans. But what I'm saying is that people like me who don't sell, again, acquire used lots from wherever we can get them, and we keep them. So we usually don't sell them to other people as lots, unless it's bricklink. So usually when I acquire a lot, and I think this goes basically across the board. There was one guy, actually a few now, but way back pre-internet. I mentioned Crazy Lego Guy. I've talked about him before, West Hamilton, and every month he would call me up after I put that ad in the paper. And the first time I went out there, he said, bring $150. And I went out there and he gave me $150 worth, what I considered $150 worth of Lego. And I said, oh, this is fantastic. And he had an entire apartment building, basically, him and his wife. He had an entire apartment building. Every shelf, every nook, every cranny was filled with Lego sets put together, C-3PO, the Technic 6-3 and R2-D2, and the sets, and like just and then Rubbermaid, the big bathtub sized ones. He had like a half a dozen or more in the back room, the spare room, just full of Lego. Like it dwarfs my collection even when I think about it to this day. So my first trip out there, $150, I walked away with some really cool Lego, with a lot of classic space, which is what I was interested in. And then he called me up the next month. He says, if you have $150, I got more Lego for you. And I went out there like a half a dozen times, at least once a month. And it started dwindling by what he was, quote unquote, selling me for $150. The lots got smaller, more basic, blah, blah, blah. And the last time I went out there was just basically, you had like a tote full of 2x2 bricks. And I go, I don't want a tote full of 2x2 bricks, various colors. He goes, well, I think this is worth $150. I said, I think it's worth nothing to me because, like, what am I going to do with a tote full of 2x2 bricks? Now, only one person watching this video will get this because he grabbed 3 of my totes of overflow of basic bricks, 1x1s through 1x8s, and 2x2s through 2x8s and 2x10s. And there was a ton of 2x2 bricks in there, because again, when you acquire lots of used lots from back in the 70s and 80s, especially from the 70s, they come with tons of 2x4s and 2x2 bricks, like just literally tons of these bricks, basic brick. And so I happen to have at the time, besides what's here on the walls, 3 full Rubbermaid, not the bathtub size totes, but the roughneck, the bigger totes full of just basic brick. And I lent them, quote unquote, lent them, as another the communal Lego, lent them to my friend Jeffy so he could build a castle. So in the acquisitions of Lego over the years, you find that you have tons of basic brick, especially when you've been collecting as long as I have from back in the day. If you collect now, most sets, you don't get a lot of basic brick, 2x2, 2x3, 2x4 brick anymore. And even those creator sets. I mean, you get lots in the creator set, but not as many as you used to. Anyway, so I just said, I'm not interested in coming here for 2x2 bricks or any other basic bricks. So if you don't have, and I was polite about it, but if you don't have anything that's worthy of my $150, have a nice day. So, and he never called me back. Because I guess he wanted to keep his Lego, and he found another source to make his rent. That's honestly what I was thinking. He was trying to make his rent every month by selling me $150 worth of Lego for at least 6 months. But it did help with my collection. I will say that it was. But even today, I don't think my collection in this room was nearly as big as the collection that he had. Now, again, it wasn't as organized as mine. He didn't do the small little bins that I have here. He had, I think, 3 or 4 or 6 big, huge bathtub-sized Rubbermaid totes full of Lego, plus every shelf, every desk, every flat surface in the house. Lego on it, as sets and whatever else. It seemed that he liked building sets, because I, again, saw the C-3PO and the R2-2, which I actually got from him. I think I bought the Darth Vader myself from the store at the time. It was an interesting experience. I remember that. I called him Crazy Lego Guy because he wasn't the most, I will say this. He wasn't the most polite person in the world. He was a little bit pushy, a little bit arrogant, a little bit not nice. He wasn't the worst person I've ever run into, but I guess our personalities conflicted because I like to, be polite and considerate and, hey, let's talk about this and blah blah blah. And he's no, $150. Do you want it or not? And so okay, well, whatever. No, for the last time. The 6 previous times, absolutely sure. But as I said, as the weeks went or the months went by, the amount that he was selling me for $150 dwindled. One of the 3 words in the English language starts with DW. It's a little piece of trivia. So anyway, so that went by. Anyway, so what happened here was when I get used lots now, and I usually buy somebody selling their entire collection. Their kids have moved out. They're old now. Because I would say most of the lots that I get now in Facebook Marketplace, I go to the house and it's somebody older than me, and it looks like a retired couple in a house that their kids have moved out long ago and they're cleaning up the house, and they probably, and again, I surmise, I hypothesize, I say, hey, this person selling this box of Lego or a bag of Legos, I said this one was a grocery bag full of Lego, and she did not look like she was young enough to have this for herself, but she looked like she was old enough to have somebody slightly younger than me to buy it for when they're growing up. And maybe they didn't have kids. I don't know. I can hypothesize, but I do not know that if their kids didn't have kids, there's no point in keeping Lego in the house. so I've had a bunch of lots now from somebody out there that looks like it was not added to since the 80s, which is awesome for me. And it looks like it was not used since the 80s, which again is awesome for me. And it doesn't look like it was parsed out into smaller chunks, which again, awesome for me. And so I start ruminating, I start thinking, and I've talked about this in other videos, what sets are in the lot that I just got? Because I'm curious. I'm honestly curious. And right away, I knew there was a robot command center, and there it is right there. And again, that was like almost 100%. The pieces, almost 100%. That guy, almost 100%. That guy, almost 100%. Utterly fantastic. This guy, most of it. I had to grab a few pieces from my collection, which is fine. That guy, almost 100%. That guy, almost 100%. So it was really, 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 really well kept. The surprising bit for me, and I did put them together. I said I wasn't going to, but I did. Was the rocket launcher, which was maybe 20%, 20 to 30%. I had to grab at least 70 to 80% of pieces from my collection. But then all those pieces are left over. So you got the bins over there. And this is all that's left of the gray pieces that I had in here. And so I got one by one round brick, one of these, which I thought was from this. I think there must have been a spare, but I think I didn't check the Puron the second time, but I think it said there was 3 axle pegs, axle pins, and there's 1 claw. So, and that one had all 4. So I don't think I got this mixed up with mine. So those are my leftover gray pieces in their entirety. But the white, yellow, blue, red, and black, and even trans clear, they're all basic pieces. There's no more cool, quote unquote, cool pieces. There's slopes in there, a few slopes, but most of it is 1x2, 1x3, 1x4, 1x6, 1x8, 2x2, 3, 4, and 8s. And the old 70s style doors with the inserts. I thought, yeah, so doors with inserts, and the old style windows. So, and the big figs. So I was trying to figure out what sets could have possibly been in this collection, because I couldn't understand that. I was wondering if the basic sets from when I was a kid, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So I know there's a 377 right there. That's called the Crane with Float Truck. Set number 377. It's the oldest one here in the lot. Came out in 1971. So that's probably why I didn't have it when I was a kid, because I obviously didn't get Lego when I was new Lego when I was like 4 years old. My brother did, but yeah, I think he got some basic sets. So we did not have this set, but we did have lots of sets with this top steering column thing. After that, the 700 series trucks, utterly fantastic. So the 377, 1971 is the oldest set here. And then it jumps, which is very, very odd. The 602, the 1978, the fire chief, this guy, 1978. Now, before I actually went on Piron, I would have thought this set was older than this set, but it's not. The tipper truck came out the same year that the fire chief did, which there was a bit of an overlap between minifig vehicles and non-minifig vehicles. There was a year or two where they were both available. So the tipper truck came out in 1978. The tractor with the broken arm, so that's another set that's in here, the 625, which I did not build because the actual tractor lift piece was busted. I put it in the bin of doom. So I did not build the 626 or 625, the tractor. So that's another set that would have been here, but I didn't bother putting that together. It's a small set. And the 1045, which I think is where most of these other pieces came from. Because when I looked at the inventory for set 1045, 1970, well, I guess it's 1976. I should have looked at this. Universal building set. It came with the big figs. It came with these guys. So I'm quite sure, and the windows and the doors and the bricks and the basic bricks. And I was trying to figure out the 4 red 6x10s, and they came in the 1045. So I'm thinking most of that there, besides being the tractor that I did not build, is set 1045. I think if I did an inventory of 1045, I would be able to count out most of those pieces. I didn't bother. And then we get into the space, the 897, obviously, came out in 1978, 1979. 1557, a really, really cool set, Space Scooter. And 1558, they came in the bonus pack of the Space Value Pack 1507. I actually bought that off the store shelf back in the day because I thought the pieces were cool. And they came out in 1987, 86. 1986, I would have been 19 buying Lego in the store. I've talked about that before. And then the 6951, 1984, the Robot Command Center. So I think most of the mystery is solved of what's in this lot. I'm not going to worry about these miscellaneous pieces because maybe they fell into it when I was here in my room. I don't know. So I'm not going to worry about that. Nor am I going to worry about where this Duplo guy came from. It came in this lot. I don't know how he got in here, but obviously there's no other Duplo. So I was very, very, this is a set, this was a good lot for me, because most of this is my youth growing up, right in my time frame of my childhood. Again, I was 4 when this came out, but the rest of them would have come out with sets I could have bought or did buy off the shelf back in the day. So very, very happy with it. All these are staying together because there's no need for me to take them apart. I don't need the parts for anything else. So that's always a good thing about my collection. I could probably build each one of these again a few times over without too much of a sweat. My collection is something else. My collection is mine, and it is very, very specific to my appreciation of this hobby. And my thing, as I've mentioned a few times, I appreciate other people's way of collecting and buying and sourcing their parts for that they want for what they're going to build and what they want to build for the rest of their lives, and the enthusiasm that they have, that's contagious. I absolutely adore my friends. My friend Jeff is one of my favoriteest people, and he acquires Lego quite differently than I do. and he organizes it quite differently than I do, and I absolutely adore him. I adore the way he does everything. I love his builds. I've always loved his builds from the beginning. We did a classic space layout together for many, many years, and the guy is just a prolific builder on almost everything, and he builds fantastically awesome stuff. And he acquires a lot more Lego than I do. So, and he's in on the end of the latest and greatest stuff. I am mildly entertained by the latest and greatest, but it's not my version of fandom. And my thing is, I really understand that it's many people in this hobby. It's many people that have that level of that type of interest in this hobby. They want the latest and greatest. They want to know what the latest parts are coming out. They want to know what the latest colors. And I absolutely am enthralled by their enthusiasm. My problem, part of it is probably because I am colorblind, but my problem is I am stuck, quote unquote, stuck here in this era where there are red, blue, yellow, white, black, and trans clear. Well, red, blue, yellow, white, black, and trans clear. That started changing when the Space and Castle came out with the grays and the dark grays and the browns and the greens. And that's basically my era. Even in the later space lines, the space themes, with the ice planets and the Roboforce and all those guys, they didn't stray off of those colors that they had in the 80s until about Roboforce, when I think a lot of orange showed up. I don't know if orange was in Roboforce. I honestly can't remember now. Doesn't matter. But I love the trans when they started really going crazy with the trans colors. Most of it was trans neon green over the years, but the trans neon oranges and all that stuff, love all that. But I have a tough time myself differentiating the small trans yellow bits from the trans neon green bits, especially the 1x1 round plates and stuff. I have to look really closely. I have no problem with trans orange and trans neon orange. But I do have a problem with trans neon green. The small pieces, the big pieces I can tell very easily. The difference between trans green and trans yellow, trans neon green. Trans green is easy for me to tell apart from anything. But I do have a tough time with some of the trans colors. I definitely have a tough time with the regular new colors, the dark green, the dark red, the dark brown. The dark sand, whatever, all these crazy colors that they got going on there. So I just don't even bother sorting them out. They just go into one giant bin. Right now I got 2 giant bins, and I think I'm sorting a third of those colors, not unsorted, because I'm not good at sorting them out. I can tell some of them, the pinks and the oranges. Obviously I like the orange. The lime green I'm pretty okay with overall. But when they released a couple years back that crazy yellow sun, whatever, I forgot the name of it off the top of my head now. I think it showed up first with a penguin set for Batman, but now they're using it a lot more. I have a tough time sorting that bright orange yellow from regular yellow. I actually have to stop and look at it under specific lights. So that's starting to bother me. As I say, dark red and dark green, I have to stop and look at it because I am what they call red-green colorblind. And a certain shades of red and certain shades of red, certain shades of brown, certain shades of green, certain shades of blue, and certain shades of purple. Now, regular blue, I have zero problem with. Zero problem with. The dark, the purple, as my friend Janie would say, she notices that there are some purple pieces in my layout. So it turns out that, sometimes the purple blends in too well with the blue for me, which is not a shock. I found that out when I was in my 20s, that sometimes I can't tell specific shades of purple from blue. So it is what happens. And the light blues, I guess there's 4 or 5, I don't know, there's a bunch of different light blues, or just a bunch of different shades of light pink now. I just give up. I don't have the eyes for it. And since I don't build in that era, which is the last 15 years overall, It doesn't bother me that much because, again, my enthusiasm for Lego didn't wane when they added a whole bunch of different colors. I don't know what the color palette is up to now, but again, when I was a kid, it was six, six colors, and now it's a lot more than six. My appreciation of the Lego company did not change when they came out with new colors. I didn't shake my fist in a general direction of the Lego company when they came out with new colors, because again, I look around my room and I'm quite content the collection I have, and I keep on finding, as we can see, I keep on finding used lots that fit right into my wheelhouse. So again, I appreciate the Lego. I love Lego. I appreciate the Lego company for making Lego and the history that they've had, and the happiness and joy and building and the imagination that they've managed to that they keep on trying to invoke in the generations now of people, and they try to be inclusive, and they've done some fantastic things over the decades of their existence for everybody across the planet, and there's always been missteps. If we want to talk about that for a second, every company has missteps and mistakes, whatever. The late 90s was definitely a mistake for Lego. And and I'm glad they got through it. I'm glad they continued on. I'm glad it's not like the Meccano guys, who I think that you can still, I mentioned this before, I think you can still buy new Meccano. It's published underneath the Meccano logo, but it's not the original company. I believe, I haven't followed too closely, but I know that for a while you could not get new Meccano pieces. But I think because of the fandom that they've started producing new pieces of Meccano. But most of those guys are looking for the old stuff, and if you find it online, it goes through for lots of money. Again, now it's becoming more like Lego, or Lego is becoming more like that, where everybody's trying to collect. So the prices go up. I'm noticing on even the marketplace now, $200 for a bin, a small bin, like not a huge tote that like I used to get for $300, but like a little bin for $200. And I'm going, no, I'm not even interested. I am not interested in buying a small to mid-sized bin that's half full of quote unquote Lego. And I'm looking at the picture and they're asking $200 for that. And I see box tops from Mega Block. like no, they could just go away. And even if it's 100% Lego, if it's anything newer than 2000 and whatever, unless there's some unique pieces in there that I see, I'm definitely not buying it. Now, is it worth it? I guess, because Lego's very expensive now to buy, even on the used market. But it's not for me. Just like I told that guy many years ago, this is not worth $150 to me. It might be $150. 2x2 bricks, a bin, like a tote full of 2x2 bricks, might be worth $150 to somebody who wants it. But I already have a gabillion 2x2 bricks at home. I do not need just 2x2 bricks. I'm here for the interesting, the esoteric, the classic space, the bunch of different pieces. But a bin of 2x2 bricks, which I already own lots of. I didn't need $150 worth more of 2x2 bricks. And I don't need $200 worth of a small to medium-sized bin of partial Lego, partial other things. I'm just not interested. And so when I do come across lots on Marketplace, I say, hey, Lego for sale, 100, 200, whatever it is. I look at it, and the second I see a Mega Block, I just move on overall. Unless I see Classic's face in there. As I say, there was some non-Lego in here and this, that. But I could tell by the pictures that the majority, the 90% of the bag, the shopping bag, was full of Lego. And the shopping bag was full. It was bulging full. It was a big shopping bag, like the old A&P bags. And it was, as you can see, look, there's nothing wrong with this set for $50. There is nothing wrong with this lot for $50. Almost complete. No, not even close to complete. Almost complete. so there's nothing wrong with it for $50 in today's age. Nothing wrong with $50 for that lot. I'm happy I got it, and but I'm letting lots of lots slide by. I used to be, I want it. Look, I'll just add it to my collection. Well, no, my collection's full. So if I'm gonna get a lot from any used source, whether it be Value Village, and I'm going to go into my Value Village bags in a bit because I got 4 or 5 to go through, and I think there's some cool pieces in there that I want to do a video on. But if I go to Value Village or a thrift store or a garage sale or a flea market or a Facebook Marketplace, I want to see specific pieces that I want, not just a bin full of Lego for $200. I'm not interested in a quote-unquote generic bin full of Lego, even though it probably has lots of Friends pieces in it, lots of modern pieces in it, Ninjagos and Chimas and all that stuff. Great for somebody else who maybe a younger fan than me who really loved that era of Lego. Leave it for them. That's what I'm saying for myself. Somebody else can get it. Somebody else can buy it. It's not for me. And so before I would say, oh, look at all the cool Lego in there. And I would buy it. And I'm going, okay, I just sort it into collection and it just sits there. Right? This stuff is not going to sit in the collection. This stuff is going to, a lot of it's going to go into Ziplocs and into my totes full of classic space parts when I get around to doing shows again, which is utterly fantastic. But I also I'm rebuilding a lot of my old mid 70s sets to maybe do a show about those pieces, and maybe I'll try to be complete and see if I can be complete of different lines from the 1971 to 1977 of these guys, because when it comes down to it, these guys, old Lego is cool Lego. This is an utterly fantastic set. This is a beautiful set that has lots of play features. And again, this is the style of Lego that I grew up with before the age of 11, 12, that everything was quote unquote left to your it didn't look like a specific trucking company, and it was made up of maybe a dozen or 2 pieces, and but it was easy to build, easy to play with, and easy to take apart and build into something else, just like Lego's supposed to be. So I really appreciate the old sets, and I want to do them justice. I know there's a lot of YouTubes out there for Lego, and they're all talking about the Millennium Falcons, and they're all talking about the modular houses, and they're all talking about the Super Technic cars. I mean, I've done that too. I talked about the Ferrari a while back, because again, I got it cheap, and it was worth it for me and Josh to put it together. But this is slightly before my era, but basically fits right into my era of everything before Classic Space showed up in 1978. This was my youth right here, and the basic sets were my youth. But what can you say about basic sets besides they came with basic pieces? So there's no use me dwelling on the 1045 set. I was just, oh look, 2x4 bricks. There wasn't quote unquote anything special about the 1045 compared to set number 6, right? Except nothing. Set number 6, 8 came with slopes, tiles, doors, windows, 1x bricks, 2x bricks, and 10x20 base plates, which is exactly what this thing came with. So nothing too special about the 1045. So there's no point in for me sorting out the pieces for the 1045 to figure out what else would have been in here. I'm sure there was maybe a few other sets in here, but overall, I think the remaining pieces are from 1045. I'm not going to worry about it. So I've gone on too long. Again, half an hour. And hi to everybody. It's the weekend. It's Friday night. This thing will be uploaded, I think, for Saturday. I'm going to be busy tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, May 7th. I'm going to be a little busy. And then Sunday, we're going for a picnic for Mother's Day. So again, as I said, last video, don't expect daily updates going forward. I am going to, there was a whole bunch of days in there that I was very excited to build something, and that I was making all these videos about the robotic arms and the various things that I was doing. I could do 4 or 5 videos a day on something and get way ahead of myself. I was a week ahead at some points, but right now this is right now I have no pending or videos on my YouTube channel. I'm making this one now. This will be pending until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then you guys can see it. And then I don't believe there will be one on Sunday, and I can almost guarantee, because it's going to be a very busy week, and getting my van back hopefully early next week. We will see. They're fixing it right now from the accident that you can look at my YouTube channel for. This is very interesting. But yeah, so they're fixing my van. I talked to the body shop on Tuesday or Wednesday, Tuesday, and they said they had to go ahead from the insurance company to fix it, and they said to be ready. They said, quote unquote, it'll be early next week when I get it back, which I'm hoping is Monday, Tuesday. There's a little bit of sad news. It wasn't a surprise, but my sister-in-law passed away on Wednesday, which is very sad for us. She was a nice girl, a nice lady. It was not unexpected. She was having some health concerns, and it was sad that she's gone, but she's in a better place right now. She's out of pain that she had to be dealing with for the last bunch of years, and so there's that. It's a blessing. It's just tough, as I say, in the day of, to lose somebody, even though you see it coming from a long distance away. It's still tough to lose somebody when it happens on the day, and so we're going to be dealing with that. Sorry to bring this down at the end. But I'm just giving you a heads up what's going on in my world right now. And this weekend is Mother's Day weekend. It's my birthday tomorrow. Shh, don't tell anybody. I don't want people to know. But it's my birthday tomorrow. And that's when you'll see this video, by the way. So when you see this video, it's my birthday. And it's a Mother's Day on Sunday. And the rest of the month is extremely busy. So this weekend's my birthday. Next weekend's my wife's birthday. The weekend after that is the May 2-4 weekend. And I'm doing a show in Toronto in Etobicoke, which I will try to get a video up for, so you guys will have some heads up on it. Not that anybody watching this video is probably going to show up at the show, but I'm going to talk about that. So that's the May long weekend, and the weekend after that we're going camping. So every weekend between now and then after that, after the camping weekend, the first weekend in June, I'm doing something top secret that I may, again, I'm teasing it out. I'm being one of those guys that's going to keep you in suspense for a while. I'm doing something very exciting. I'm very, very excited to do it. I have a very dear friend who came up with this idea, and I am on all board. But I will have to finish, quote unquote, finish some stuff in the classic space layout before that happens, because I need to get that done for the top secret thing. So I might do some videos detailing some of the things I have to finish on the classic space layout. So that means I have to clean off my tabletop over there, my desk over there, and get rid of the robotic arm for now, and the all the robotic arms, and get some of the modules back out from the classic space layout. I'm gonna do an overview of what I need when I do this show on the May long weekend, but I won't have a lot of time. There's 2 weekends from the long weekend when I do this top secret project of mine with my friend, and so I won't have a lot of time besides my evenings during the week, because we're going camping the weekend after the May long weekend, so I won't be able to do anything on that weekend. So I have to start planning my time right now. So it's going to be a desert bereft limited number of videos I'll be uploading between now and June. So not 0 videos, because you know me, I can't shut up. So I have a captive audience of one, me, who loves uploading videos for whoever wants to watch them. So if I come up with an idea, I'm gonna do a video on it. And as I said, I have some plans for the classic space layout of things I have to finish, and I don't think I've detailed them too much, considering how many classic space videos I've done. And so I'm gonna show you that. But then the weekend, the long weekend, I might even live stream the show at the show, the layout at the show, because it'll be my first show back into a public space since the lockdowns. And so it's been that long since I've done a public show, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am. So as I say, between now and June, every weekend's busy. And the summertime already looks packed with more camping and more hanging out with friends and more doing stuff. And we got other things going on so that are non-Lego related. So there's going to be a more limited number of videos. But my plan is, again, from me to my good friends out there that are watching these things and getting and not bored by me going blobbing on about nothing. My plan is going forward, as I've been doing it for the last couple weeks, is releasing quote unquote one video a day. So if I do 2 or 3 videos in one day, they'll be uploaded and scheduled to release one per day, even if it's like 5 minutes long or 9 minutes, whereas this one's getting up 35 minutes. So just to give you a heads up, I don't want anybody to be caught off guard. I don't want anybody to be left hanging. I am just letting you know now that there's going to be a lot of days where there's no video, and you don't have to check in often. You can check in when you want. I am not going to, be upset with people who don't check in every day. Again, this is not the videos themselves are not for my ego. This is me just hanging out with my friends who show up whenever they want to show up. We have an open door policy in the real world. Stop on by for a cup of tea whenever you're in the neighborhood. And I have basically the same open door policy on my YouTube channel. Stop in whenever you want. You don't have to keep coming in every day. If you want to, absolutely. Hey, you can say hi every day. But if you get busy with your life and you come every month and have a boo and catch up, or once a year or whatever, I'm going to be here. And I'm going to be appreciative of your time to watch my videos. But I don't need, how do I phrase this? I don't want you guys to feel obligated. I just appreciate you guys for what you do now. And I just wanted to give you a heads up of what's going to happen in the future, for the near future anyway. Things might change somewhere else, but a video a day is becoming basically untenable. I don't want to keep on making boring videos. So I'm only I'm gonna post stuff that's interesting to me. And besides this video here, right now, I have 0 specific plans for new videos. It's going to change when I start fixing, as I say, when I start fixing the space layout, and making sure it's ready for June. But besides that, I don't have anything on the near schedule. I do have, as I say, a few bags of Value Village finds that had some classic space pieces in it, some other pieces that I found interesting, so I bought them. I'm going to have to sort and watch those, and I'll do that on video too. But I'm going to focus on the layout for a bit. So anyway, I said too many things again, over and over again, droning on. Get out of here before 40 minutes is over. You guys all stay safe. I really do appreciate you guys, always. And I want you guys to have a good summer. I'll be checking in sporadically with new videos. And you guys can check in with me if you want. My life is okay. Family's good. And take care of yourselves. And I'll talk to you soon.